Hello everybody, my name is the Man of Reviews, and today we'll be reviewing the Muay fighter from Kamione, aka Gogeta, from the Dragon Ball Z movie, Fusion Reborn. I'm really excited to get this guy open. This guy has been on my radar for so long, and I'm so happy he just came in. So let's get this guy out of the package, and let's look at him. Alright, so here we have the Muay fighter here, out in all his glory. This is how he's supposed to look like. He doesn't come out of the package looking like this. He comes out of the package with different arms and different shoulder pads. Like these shoulder bit parts, they're different. So I just quickly made how the Muay fighter is supposed to look like. This is how he's supposed to be, with the head and the arms and the shoulders there. But I just really wanted to quickly show you this. Not everybody is showing this part, so this is how he looks like. And it looks pretty cool. You know, these arms are one solid piece, so they don't actually have any wrist joints or anything. It's just one solid piece, which is really funny. And something interesting is that you could use these shoulder parts to make it look like a Gogeta without the jacket. Here you go, without this jacket on. Which is cool, like a battle damage Gogeta kind of. Which is pretty cool. The only thing is, these shoulder pads are a pain to take off and especially to put in. They're very, very rough and very hard to do that, and it's really annoying. I was able to fit this one on perfectly, but this one's actually put on incorrectly. I'm gonna show you real quick. As you can see, there's two holes on the side of the shoulder pads inside. This one's supposed to just go in. This one hasn't fully gone in. You can tell right there. I've been trying to push it in, but I can't. So, but it's fine, you know. It still gets the job done, I think. But anyways, let me quickly actually turn him into Gogeta, and then we can actually start the review. All right, so here we have Gogeta in his full glory, put on with everything that you added. I really enjoyed how there was like assembly required in order to complete this look with the figure. It comes in 2 boxes, of course, with the heads and the body. So you have to like assemble them together in order to get the full look. But, you know, it looks amazing. I've been playing around with this guy, and I gotta say, this is one of my favorite figures of the year. 100%. This guy is amazing. But let's get into the details and sculpt of him first. We have his head. I have him with the smiling, nice face he has at the end of the movie. Looks really good. Very detailed. Here's his hair. This is one of 4 hairs that he comes with. The one with the halo, as you can see. You can see his jacket is very nice. You know, there's some, like, I guess you could say paint rub on the shoulder pads, like some line pieces in here, but it doesn't bother me at all. So it looks really good. You can see his chest, very nicely sculpted. You can see all the details there. The sculpt's very good. I love the muscle details. Everything looks really, really good. Here in the arms, you could see a bit, depending on how you like articulate him, you could see a bit of the metal, like nail pieces that are there in order to keep the arms connected. But other than that, it's fine. You can see his arm pieces look good there. This is a look from the Fusion Reborn movie, which I think is a really good movie. So, you know, you have that in mind. Here's his little like gi that he has on. And then his pants, all very well sculpted. Very, very nice. And then here's his shoes. You can see everything there. Now we can go into the articulation real quick. All right, going into his articulation, first things first, his head looks very nice. You can look, you can't look that much, but you can look about that much with his jacket on. Look up about that much. Doesn't have, his heart articulation is kind of hindered because of the thickness of the neck and his smallness right here. The smallness, how small his headpiece is. His neck could move and add a little bit more, but not too much. Going down to his ab crunch, it's about that much. And you can look up about, ooh, a lot more. Going down to his hips, adding a little bit more to that, of course. And then, here we go. You can go to his shoulders. His shoulder pads here are on, let's see where you can see it right here. They're like clipped through the hole right there. So they could move very well, do a lot. They can move very expressively. So it shouldn't hinder any of the arm articulation. You can go out about that much. You can go out pretty good there. Then of course he has the bicep swivel. Then of course he has a kind of double jointed elbow. It's not super double jointed, it's limited by the muscle, but it's still very well. Glad they added that. The wrist, of course, the wrist could articulate very well. Then if we go down more to the hips, we have this. Now, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, these are the new 3.0 legs for SG's Figure Arts, where they're basing it off for the Dragon Ball figures. Which, if these are, I gotta say, I can't wait till I get a 3.0 SG's Figure Arts, because look at that spread. The legs probably have such amazing articulation. Like, it's actually like crazy how much these legs could do. Then of course you have a double jointed knee. Look at that. And it looks nice too. Like, compared to other Dragon Ball figures, like their double jointed knee looks kind of ugly. But if this is how they're gonna do it, this looks awesome. I really like how this looks. Oh, there goes the halo. So there's that. His boot could move a little bit, not too much. And then his actual shoe does have, you know, it could come out, it could point very well. Look at that. And then it could swivel, and of course he has the toe hinge. That's it for the articulation. So now we can go into his accessories. All right, these are all the accessories this guy comes with. As you can see, it's quite a lot. And honestly, it's so worth it for this amount, just pure amount of accessories that you come with. So first things first, let's look at the extra pieces. So these pieces right here, these are obviously for the, you know, copyright, so they could avoid the copyright and stuff like that. Here's the head of the multi-fighter. Looks pretty good, looks pretty chill. You know, kind of looks like Krillin. Like a realistic Krillin because of the things on his head. Very interesting. Then we have the shoulder pads. You could take these off to remove the black ones. And I actually use these to do a Gogeta, like a battle damage Gogeta without the jacket. I use these to use that. But I will say, taking them off and putting them back on is a hassle. I have to use like tweezers and things to do that. Next, here are the arm gauntlets for the copyright for the multi-fighter. There's no articulation or anything. It's just this, very basic. Now we can actually go into the actual important accessories. And since this guy is rolling already, I guess we'll first show off the effect part for the Stardust Destroyer, Stardust Crusher. I forgot what the move is called, but you know, the move he uses on Janemba, which just looks very good. I think I'll let it roll away. Here's the jacket. As you can see, there's two versions. There's the one on my right, which is this one like flowing, maybe for like action when he's moving, or if he's like gonna pull the jacket like he does in the Super Broly movie. And of course the basic one. That's right here. Very nice. Then of course we have the shoulder pads that are added to the shoulders and behind the shoulder arms. They're like holes you can add. These are. But if you look, this one broke. It didn't break, but as you can see, there's a hole right here. Let me just try and see if there's a hole right there where the peg hole goes, and what happened was it got stuck, as you could see. So it still works, it still goes in there pretty nicely and stuff. Don't have to worry about it, but I'm definitely gonna have to like glue it and stuff in order to fit better. See, look, it goes in nice, works just fine. but in order to make sure it doesn't come off, I'm probably just gonna glue it. So there's that. Now we can go into the, I think the heads. So he comes with 4 different hairstyle pieces, which is crazy. Of course, this is the one that comes with a hole on the top right here, and that's for this accessory, the halo. So of course you just slip that right in here. If that's me, give me 1 second. All right, and then yeah, you just twist to make sure it's good, and bam, you have the halo piece right here. Of course, looks really good. Here's another hair piece. It's the same one as that one, but without the hole, which is a fun detail. Even though that hole is hidden pretty well, they still give you an extra one, which is really cool. I really appreciate that. Then we have this hair piece, which is supposed to be windswept hair, which honestly, you can notice it side by side, but like by itself, you wouldn't really notice it. The only thing you would notice is the bang. The bang is also being swept, which is really cool. And you know, it's fine. I'm glad they added that piece. And finally, a base form hair, which is really good. I really appreciate that they added that. Even though he doesn't go base form in the Infusion Reborn, I'm still really glad that they added that. All right, now we can look at the faces that we have. First, we have these 2 Super Saiyan serious and smiling faces. Let me try to make sure these things focus. Looks really good. Please focus. There you go. Looks really nice, really cool. Then we have more action, a screaming face, and then a teeth grin face. And then we have these cool faces, which I really appreciate, which is the kind of calm smile he gives Janemba when he sees the human form, or like the normal form again. I really like that. They also added a base form version of it, which is cool. I really appreciate that. And then here's the Super Saiyan version. And then here's the base form heads. They're basically the same thing. Only difference is the smiling one is looking to the side for some reason. That's the only one that's looking to the side, the base form smiling face. Very weird, but I'm not complaining. And then here we have the screaming and teeth gritting face for the base form. Looks really cool. And now we can get into the hands. As you can see, there's a lot of hands that he comes with. First things first, look at the fist. Here are the fists. They look really cool, basic. Here's these weird grabby hands, which I don't really know what they're used for, but it looks really cool, really interesting pair of hands. Then we have these more open grabby hands, but with a peg hole, which of course is used to add the Stardust Breaker. That's what it's called, Stardust Breaker. As you can see, fits in really nicely, looks really good. Then we have these without the peg hole, without the peg. That are right here, grabby hands, really cool. Of course, the styling martial arts hands, very important for Dragon Ball figures. Ki blast hands or open palm hands, really, really good looking. And then we have these sharp hands, looking really fun, really interesting. And then these dynamic hands, which for me looks like when he throws the Stardust Breaker, which is really cool. And also when he like as Super Gogeta, as Blue Gogeta, he like wipes the Stardust Breaker off his hands and stuff, the key stuff, which is really cool. But yeah, those are all the accessories he comes with. Very a lot of accessories, and honestly makes the figure worth. Now we go into size comparisons. All right, here he is next to the SH Figuarts Superhero Vegeta, base Vegeta, the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Saitama, bootleg Storm Collectibles on Mayujiro, and the Marvel Legends God Emperor Dr. Doom. So he looks, of course, scales really well with SH Figuarts, scales well with Revoltech, and here he is next to other popular lines. Looking really good. I think this is definitely one of my favorite figures. Now we can get into my final thoughts. So overall, I think I'm gonna give this guy a 9 out of 10. This figure is almost perfect. It literally is everything that I would need in a Gogeta figure. I'm personally not a Gogeta fan. I prefer Vegito, but this guy makes me like Gogeta a lot more. He's super dynamic, super posable. A lot of the joints he decided to use, a lot of the different things he decided to use for this figure are make the articulation very, very nice, very, very dynamic. If you want to see some of the poses, check out my Instagram at the Manda Reviews. I would have posted a photo of it with different poses so you could see what I'm talking about. But oh, this guy is so incredible. The amount of accessories it comes with is absurd. Like some of these are like I don't even like think were necessary, but they still put it in there because why not? I have no complaints for the accessories. The only thing I will say is this is a third-party company, and some of the material they use maybe is not durable as you would think. Of course, I'm talking about the shoulder pad that kind of broke. It didn't break, but with the glue I'll be able to fix it up. But I'm worried that there might be other parts that might be, you know, not as strong as they should be. And of course, as a third-party company, a lot of its joints are either really tight, which is fine, nothing that some hot water will fix. But overall, other than that, this figure is near perfect. If I had the money, I would 100% buy the blue version, but I don't have that kind of money right now. So hopefully in the future I'll be able to buy it. If not, then I'll have to miss out. But that's fine because I have this amazing version of Gogeta. This is absolutely a perfect figure. So if you enjoyed this review, please leave a comment and like the video, and of course subscribe if you want to see more videos, more reviews. I have a lot of different figures that I wish to re-review or either order and then review them. So, you know, keep it up. Follow me in my TikTok and my Instagram, the Manda Reviews. Right now, I'm doing a series called 100 Days, 100 Poses, which is me just going around doing these real videos, doing these TikTok videos of me posing my fingers and having them like do these fun fights and stuff, which for 100 days. Sadly, I skipped out on these past 2 days, but I will continue posting. And well, I hope you enjoy, and God bless.